Hi scholars, my name is Alexandra and welcome to my school YouTube channel, which is your #1 student and educational resource institution. So having rounded off the past question segment, I'll be introducing you to a new segment of the My School Academic Service, which is a topic by topic tutorial for various subjects. So I'll be kicking off with English language as a subject, and English language has been divided into various units. So we'll be starting with Unit 1, that is English grammar, and the first topic under Unit 1 is classes of words. So join me and let's get started. Welcome back to my school channel. So right now we're starting with Unit 1, Topic 1. Unit 1 is English grammar, and the first topic is classes of words. There are 5 objectives for this section, and we hope you learn 5 things at the end of the section. The first objective is you should be able to state, or rather define, class of word as a term. Number 2, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to list the categories or the types of word class. Number 3 objective, you should be able to list the alternative names for the term word class. Number 4, you'll be able to define what a noun is. And number 5, you should be able to list and explain the differences between the types of noun with examples. And this last objective is not on the board. I'll be employing an instructional material which should be a visual representation of this objective, the last objective. Now let's begin with the first objective, which is the definition of word class. Now in traditional grammar, word class is also known as part of speech, and it is referred to as part of speech by traditional grammarians. And part of speech is a category of words, and these words have similar grammatical properties. So they have similar grammatical function, similar grammatical features. Okay, so this definition is also applicable to the term word class, because word class is the term used by modern linguistics. Part of speech is the term used by traditional grammarians. But today it's still called part of speech if desired by the speaker or the teacher in person. So word class is also the category of words, okay, the group of words, the class of words, the set of words that have similar grammatical features, similar grammatical properties. Now that is the first objective, word class. Now let's move to the second objective, which is the categories of word class. Now categories of word class would also mean types of word class or types of part of speech. So there are 8 part of speech commonly. Okay, there are usually 8 or 9. Some textbook will number it as 9 part of speech, some 8 part of speech. Okay, so but here on the board it's 8, and the 9th one is usually what we call article. Okay, so it's called article or determiner. Okay, article or determiner. So before the end of this whole lesson, I'll be explaining why some grammarians feel that number 9 should be article, and why others feel the number 9 should not be articles, and so on and so forth. So we have 8. Let's just classify it as 8 for the course of this lesson. 8. So number 1 noun, number 2 pronoun, number 3 verb, number 4 adjective, number 5 adverb, number 6 preposition, number 7 conjunction, number 8 interjection. So this is the second objective for today's lesson. Now let's move to the third objective, which is alternative names for word class. Now word class is referred to by modern grammarians as lexical class, lexical category. Okay, and I've explained part of speech being a term used by traditional grammarians. So these are alternative words for the term word class. Now number 4, grammatical class, also I've heard some modern grammarians refer to word class as grammatical class or grammatical category, and it's quite makes a lot of sense to me, because word class is a category of words that have similar grammatical function. So they perform similar grammatical function or have similar grammatical properties, and so if you call it grammatical class, it's still applicable. It makes a lot of sense. It is logical. So I've written grammatical class as the number 4, or grammatical category. So that's that about objective 3. Now let's move to the next one, definition of noun. So I remember when we were growing up, we referred to noun as a name of a person, a name of a thing, a name of an animal, a name of a place. Okay, so this is an ordinary definition, a layman's definition of what a noun is, and it is very much applicable today. Okay, but as we begin to develop, we start to create a definition that is very simple and just straightforward, and we refer to noun as a naming word or a name for something. Now, this is a general concept, a very strong concept for what a noun is, a name for something. It could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be an animal, it could be places, it could be idea, it could be concept, it could be just anything, a name for something, and that is what noun is. Okay, so we'll be moving to the last objective, and as like I said, it's going to be visually displayed. So we need to move to the board now for that. Okay, so right now we're going to be looking at the types of nouns. There are 8 types of nouns, and I have paired them so that you can understand the differences, most importantly, and give examples for them. Now let's start with the first 2. Common nouns and proper nouns. Okay, so the first point under common nouns, they are a general name for something. Okay, for proper nouns, they are a specific name for something. So common noun, while the name for it is general, from the word common, it means a common thing, a common ground, something that is of the same kind, of the same type, of the same category. Okay, so that is the word common. But for proper noun, it is specific. So the concept for proper noun is that it is unique to that person, to that particular person or individual. Okay, so let's look at the second point. They begin with small letters. For proper nouns, they begin with capital letters at any position in a sentence. So for common nouns, they begin with small letters. However, it can be capitalized if it begins the sentence. So for common noun, in any position of the sentence, it is small, aside for the beginning of the sentence. So if it is starting the sentence, it should be capital letter for common noun. But then for proper noun, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end, it remains capitalized. Okay, so that's the difference between common noun and proper noun. Okay, so let's look at an example so that we can understand the concepts more better. So we have girl, which is a common name for a male figure, and then we have Mary, which is a unique name for a particular person. Let's take a look at the second example. City, a name of a place. And this is a common name. It is non-specific. But then let's look at proper noun. We have Lagos. Lagos is a name, a unique name for a city. Now let's look at the third, dog, which is a name of an animal. Dog is a common name. We have different types of dog. We have German Shepherd, and in this example, you can see bulldog. Okay. The last one, which is a thing, newspaper. Newspaper is a general name. Okay, and we have the Punch. Okay, so having established this, let's move to the next 2. So number 3 and number 4. So we have countable nouns, uncountable nouns, or mass noun. So uncountable noun is also called mass noun. Countable nouns are also called count nouns. So wherever you see it, you might see it in some textbook as mass noun. Just know it's uncountable noun. Or you can say count noun, which also means countable nouns. So let's look at the first point established under countable nouns and uncountable nouns. For countable nouns, they have a singular and a plural form. Okay, so countable nouns have a one-word standardized singular and plural form for countable nouns. Now, for uncountable nouns, the idea of countability in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 does not apply to mass or uncountable nouns. So we could not count uncountable nouns the way we can count countable nouns. Okay, we cannot count. Uncountable nouns cannot be counted. The idea of counting it 1, 2, 3 does not apply to uncountable nouns. Okay, so let's look at the second point. They are used with a number as in 1, 2, 3, 4, a or an before it. E.g., man, so we can say one man. Okay, we can say one man, and this plural of man is men, which is also one word plural form. Okay, but for uncountable noun, we have some, a piece of, an amount of is used before it to indicate quantity. So in this case, we cannot use numbers, we cannot use a or an. What we use is some, a piece of, an amount of, to indicate quantity. And as you can see the examples, water. Okay, milk, air. For here we have man, book, church, and cat. So all of these can be counted. We have a standardized way of writing the plural form, but here this is the way you can show quantity for uncountable nouns. So right now let's move to the next two. Concrete nouns and abstract nouns. So concrete noun is number 5, abstract noun is number 6. So for concrete nouns, they exist physically. For abstract noun, they have no physical existence. So for concrete nouns, they are tangible and we can touch them. For abstract nouns, they are not tangible, we cannot touch them. So let's look at point number 2. They appeal to at least one of the senses. But then for abstract noun, they do not appeal to any of the 5 senses. Okay, so for example, we have tree. Tree, we can touch tree and we can see tree. Do not forget the 5 senses are sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of smelling, sense of touching, and sense of taste. Okay, so these are the 5 senses, and we can see water, we can taste it, we can touch, and we can also see. So for abstract now, look at the examples: compassion, sadness, love. When you think about these examples, you see that they do not appeal to any of these 5 senses. So let's look at the next two: compound nouns and collective nouns. So the first point, they are created by a combination of 2 or more words. So for compound nouns, is a combination of 2 or more words that are seen as one word. Okay, combination of 2 or more words that are viewed or seen as just a single word. But for collective nouns, is a group of individuals. So they represent a collection of individual, a group of things or animals, but are considered as one particular entity. Okay, so we are looking at a set, a group, an entity. But it might be made up of 2 or more things, 2 or more people, 2 or more animals. Now let's look at the second point. They appear as a single word. Okay, so you have 2 words, rain and fall, but joined together to make a compound noun, and they are referred to as one word. So they appear as a single word, that is rainfall, son-in-law, bulldog. Now let's look at collective noun. They can appear as a word or phrase. They can appear as a single word or a phrase. So we have family, team. So for family, we have a lot of individuals that make up family. Okay, we have the father, the mother, the children. But then we are seeing it as a particular entity. Okay, it's a collection of individuals, but it's one particular team. Team, crew, crowd, a flock of sheep. As a phrase, a bevy of ladies. A phrase, a bunch of sticks. Okay, so all of these examples are seen as a particular entity. Okay, so we've come to the end of this section, and I believe you enjoyed it. However, there are more lessons, there are more objectives for this particular topic now. And so in the next section, I'll be providing information about so many things. So we're looking at factors in which nouns can be categorized under 2 or more types of noun. We'll be exploring other concepts also. We'll be looking at how context affects word class, and that word class we are looking at is noun. So how context affects noun. So that means noun can function as a verb and other types of word class. Okay, we'll be looking at that aspect, and we'll also look at plural formation processes in nouns. Okay, so that is the concept we're covering up in the next session, and it's a special package I have prepared for you. So please do well to subscribe for this package so that you can enjoy everything. Don't forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and then tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.